Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Summer House Martha's Vineyard episode 6 and kind of episode 7. I'm going to just maybe do them all together. It'll be a little long episode. I have been gone. I have been beachside, if you couldn't tell from this wonderful tan that I have. So yes, I am a little late on this Robe Chronicles, but you know what? I got y'all. Hopefully you've already seen the episode, so you know what I'm about to talk about, but you want to hear my perspective, and that is why we are here. We're here for my perspective, my take on things. So let's get started. This episode starts off with Summer calling her Nana, and her Nana is getting ready to have surgery. I feel like I couldn't really hear the conversation. I think she says something about her Nana not being able to see for the next couple months. So I think maybe it's an eye surgery. I'm not quite sure because I couldn't really hear. Then Summer kind of explains her kind of background and talks about how her Nana adopted her because her mom couldn't take care of her. And due to this abandonment, she feels like she doesn't know how to open up to others and stuff like that. And it's just really weighing on her. Um, this coming weekend is a couples weekend. So everybody's girlfriend or boyfriend is coming into town, uh, except for, well, Tasia is coming for Nick, but she's coming a little later than everybody else's um, significant other. Jasmine is excited because Mariah is coming. Simon shows up. And I think it's a little weird. Okay. So, like, this is just me. Bria complains that she hasn't seen Simon in about a month, but I find it very convenient that he has time to show up on the vineyard. Like, to be on TV, Simon has time, but to just come see his girl, he don't really got the time, which kind of plays into the fact that I think Simon just likes attention. And I think Bria does too. So they kind of match, but I think it's just very convenient. Um, Donald shows up. That's Preston's boo. Oh my God, I love him. He seems really sweet. Um, Amir goes to pick up his girlfriend, and I'm like, she couldn't take an Uber like the rest of them, but every relationship is different. And shout out to Amir for picking up his girlfriend. um, Bria was fighting so hard to have Phil there. So when she calls Phil to let him know that Preston has agreed to allow him to come to his little happy hour or dinner hour party, she is surprised to find out that Phil is with Mariah. And I'm like, okay, I know that they're not main characters to this season, but what is going on with them? Why are they together? Are they together? Are they dating? Did they date when they both got kicked out? Like, I'm kind of curious, right? And I feel like it's not getting touched on. Like, and Bria was kind of shocked to find out that Phil was with Mariah in that moment when she called. So I'm like, did she not know the extent of their relationship, or is Bria pretending because the cameras are on? I need to know. Phil is your friend, but you don't know how close he is with Mariah. It's a little weird. Okay. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Um, then Preston and Donald leave to the dinner party because they have to make sure everything's set up. And honestly, Preston's outfit, Donald, they look fantastic. They look good with the T at the end. I loved Preston's suit. Love the fit and everything, because that's the thing about men's clothing. Like, when it's tailored well, when it looks good on the body, it's nice. Amir talks about his relationship and how this is the realest one he's had, and you know whatever. I'm just like, I feel like Amir is doing too much for this relationship. But then he's talking about how his girl knows that every girl in the house has expressed interest in him or didn't express interest, like Jordan. And I'm like, which girls were interested in Amir? Because last season, I'm not saying Amir isn't handsome or they didn't think he was handsome, But Amir is short, and I think he's shorter than all the women in that house. So I don't think any of the women expressed any interest in that man. So I don't know where he got that from. I feel like he might have said that to his girl to make her a little jealous or whatever, but baby, you was not it. Not saying again, not saying they didn't think he was handsome, but I don't think they were interested. Um then everybody gets to the dinner party and Mariah and Phil show up. Nick was like, me and Phil do not be in the same spaces at all. I be at Wimbledon, the US Open, all of these places, and Phil do not be there. He's like, so seeing Phil here is like going out in public to a random place and seeing somebody. He basically called Phil poor. That's what I heard. I mean, maybe he meant something else, but that's what I heard. I heard him say, I'm high class and Phil is low class. He might have said it more nicely, more long winded, but that's ultimately what he said. Bria pretty much talks about how she doesn't care that Mariah is there. Um, and I feel like Mariah and her, it's weird because based on like the grumblings on Twitter and stuff, supposedly they already squashed their stuff and Bria is coming to the show and acting brand new. I don't like people like that. If we didn't have a problem, don't make one for the cameras. Like, what are you doing? Um, and Amira is like, I don't owe Mariah an apology. And there's this behavior that certain men have towards people that they don't find attractive. And I genuinely believe Mariah is beautiful, but I genuinely believe because Amir doesn't find her attractive, he doesn't care for her. Like if she was attractive to him, then he might feel like she deserves an apology and he might treat her differently. But because she's not attractive to him, he has no concern or feelings for her. And that to me is whack. Personally, I think that makes him unlikable. I already think they should get Amir off the show. I don't care how good people think he looks. He does not need to be on the show anymore. Um, then Bria and Mariah chatted up a bit. They kind of squash everything, although it was supposedly already squashed, but they squash it again. And then the men talk to Phil and they try to hold him accountable, and he's apologetic, but he's also saying like, the alcohol had me. And okay, I have a problem with this, okay, because although I understand the alcohol is not an excuse, alcohol is an excuse. Like, I don't know why people like to believe that alcohol doesn't alter the way you behave. It does alter the way you behave. I am not saying that you shouldn't control your liquor. Yes, you should control your alcohol intake. That is on you. If you know how you behave when you're drunk is bad, you should control your alcohol intake. However, I do believe that alcohol has an effect on how people behave. And to say, oh, drinking is not an excuse, it is kind of an excuse. Kind of, right? Like some people don't even remember what they do when they're drunk. So to say that alcohol isn't an excuse is like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree. I do believe that people should watch their intake if they know that they began drunk and doing stupid stuff. But I don't think that, like, that's your fault. How much you took in, how much you drank, that is your fault. You could have stopped at any time. But to say that the actual alcohol isn't an excuse, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that alcohol makes you not know right from wrong or certain things, but like sometimes you're a little more aggressive because of the alcohol or a little more emotional because of the alcohol. And, it just heightens certain things where you would probably be like, whoa, let me chill. Alcohol is not going to have that like stopping factor, right? So it's not that you're going to do stuff that are so out of pocket, but you're going to do stuff that maybe you probably would have been like, let me chill on that. Like I'm getting a little too crazy. So anyways, after that little dinner party, Jordan is like at the dinner party. Jordan's like, I am not talking to Phil. I'm not getting close to Phil. I don't care for Phil. She's like, I don't like him. I guess after he was like trying to message her and DM her and stuff, like, you're still mad. Like, if you piss me off, you're still mad is gonna make me more mad. How he came at Preston with a true, genuine apology is how he should have come to Jordan, but he didn't. He was just kind of like, you're still mad. And I feel like that's whack. So I get why she's still upset. So then they come back and Jordan's hosting a Freaknik party, which I think is dope. She invites a bunch of her friends. Obviously, it's the couples weekend. Nick comes down and does like full body tattoos, and everybody's like, "Oh, Nick is fine. You telling me all Nick needed was tattoos to be fine?" I think I was like, "He looks the same. He looked the same. He don't look no better. He looked the same." I didn't see it. Shanice was like, "Ooh, Nick, he's so fine." I'm like, don't get me wrong. I don't think Nick is ugly. I think Nick looks like Mr. Burns, but I don't think Nick is ugly. But them tattoos, they wasn't doing what them girlies was saying they was doing. I think that, it's the effect of being in a small space with limited amount of people that certain people start to look attractive that normally wouldn't be your type. I think that's just all it was. Um, Shanice joking like she gonna F him and what have you. Um, then like, the Freaknik party is going on. Jordan gives a little history lesson on Freaknik and what's it about and how it started. I think this is one of the best things about Summer House, right? Is the little Black history lessons that get taught throughout the show. I think that is probably one of the most important parts of the show because I know a lot of people aren't watching it. I don't know how we can get I know how we can get the ratings up. Honestly, to get the ratings up, they have to get rid of all those people that are in couples ASAP. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. They got to go. But I do think that the little lessons that are being taught and all of that we're getting, it's good. It's important. Um After the party, they all go into the little hot tub, and Amir and his girlfriend are talking about how they've known each other. They moved in with each other like 2 months after they started seeing each other, and like honestly, that girl, I don't know if she likes Amir or if she likes the attention he has and is hoping for that to rub off on her. Because the way she be talking about him, like earlier, I didn't mention it, but she was like, I do luxury real estate and he does like whatever. What I make in 1 month is what he makes in an entire year, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dang, she's mean. And then when they got together and they were talking about it, and he was like, well, what do you think next steps are? And Press is like, if you feel comfortable asking, answering. And she's basically like, well, now he's working for me. So getting our business dealings together is going to be a big next step. Girl, do you like this man or is he an employee? You're an elite employee. I don't know. I think about that meme video constantly. I'm so sorry, y'all. I think this is like the second time I've quoted it in these videos, and I can't stop thinking about it. It just lingers in the back of my mind all day. But anyways, she treats him like an employee, and he was like, "Oh, it's like an engagement." I'm like, he do not need to be rushing to marry that girl. That girl do not like him. Um, but anyway, then they start to play Never Have I Ever. And Summer goes, Never have I ever sucked the dick or whatever. And people are like, what? You've done that. You've done that. I know you've done that. And they're like, that's not how you play. Now, I don't think I've ever played Never Have I Ever correctly because I also thought you say things that you have done, but think other people have also done, or maybe want to catch people up. I don't, honestly, I have no idea how to play Never Have I Ever. I've never played it. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I have bad friends. Maybe I have played it and I don't remember, but whatever. So Summer starts getting upset and she's like, that's not how you play. That's not how you play. And Bria says something to her, and Summer loses it. She starts like, I'm not afraid of you, girl, blah, blah, blah. Ma'am, what? Like, how did we get here? We was joking about never have I ever. Why are you bucking right now? What is wrong with you? It's problematic. Like Summer went from 0 to 100 and no one knew why. Like it was crazy town. So then Bria was like, girl, like, what is the deal? What's going on? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I thought you were talking mess or something like that. That's what she said. She's like, I thought you were talking mess. And she's like, and I guess I misheard. And, I'm drunk and I'm this and I'm that and woochie woochie whoop. And it's like, I need you to dial it back so much more than what you've done. I need you to go to bed. Like I need you to go to bed. So the party wraps up. Everybody goes inside and goes to chill. Noelle, Bria, and Shanice are in the room, like laughing and joking and whatever. And they're just talking, whatever, shooting the shit. They might have been talking shit about Summer because obviously she went off and she went crazy. But they're just at the time, they're just kind of talking, like joking and laughing. Summer walks in and she comes in and she's like, oh, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? And then she's kind of like trying to talk to Bria, and Bria's like, girl, you was tripping earlier. Like, I don't know what is going on. And she was like, you guys have your clique and you're so close and you leave me out and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, girl, like Shanice, Noelle, and Bria are like, girl, like you're with Preston and Jordan. That's your clique. Like, we're just over here laughing and joking and whatever, like, not leaving you out, but you have your clique and we're just over here on this side. And she was like, you don't know what it's like being friends with them. It isn't all it's cracked up to be. What is wrong with you? Shut up. Go lay down. Summer, go lay down. Like, before you start talking any crazier, go lay down. But unfortunately, she doesn't go lay down. So she starts going off again on Bria because she feels like they're all friends and they're leaving her out, and Bria's trying to call her out and all this stuff. So she's going off. And Noelle was like, and she's trying to talk to Bria. And so Noelle and Shanice are like joking. They're not even really in the conversation. And Noelle put the little wig on, like by her eyebrows, and Shanice is taking pictures and they're cracking up because, they're still a little tipsy. And Summer feels like they're laughing at her. So she gets up and she's like, I'm leaving. And Noelle's like, wait, girl, calm down. Like, no one was trying to talk about you. Like, this is not about you. And Summer pushes Noelle. And she's like, are you happy, Bria? I've pushed her. Noelle was like, I she should have went to lay down. That's what she should have done. She shouldn't have gone to talk to nobody. She should have said, hey, I'm drunk. I'm not feeling well. Let me go lay down. Let me lay my black ass down and keep out of trouble with anybody else. But no, 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 no. She wanted to start mess. So that's what she did. Start arguing, push Noelle. Noelle is chasing her through the house. And I'm like, Noelle, you are so much better than me. Because she would have ran out and I'd be like, all right, bye. Bye. Because you know what? It's not about not caring for her. And in that moment, it's about this is someone who is on edge, and it's not it's not going to be productive to talk to them in the state that they're in. But Noelle chases her anyways, and she's trying to, like, calm her down. And she comes back after storming out and says to Bria, this is why your man doesn't F with you. Ma'am, why are you dropping secrets because you mad? Like, honestly, it's a bad look for Summer. And that's pretty much how the episode ends. But I'm just like, Summer needs to get it together, like all the way together. It's not good. But I don't know. It's just crazy. So the next episode pretty much starts, with Noelle trying to talk to Summer, basically. Um, and she's like, I can't talk to you like while you're drunk. Or Summer's like, I can't talk about while I'm drunk because I'm not in a in a space to talk about it, you know. But then she goes, I think because she shares a room with Jordan, her and Jordan and Jasmine kind of, it looks like they talk about it a little bit, but not really. It's just like a very brief conversation. And she's just crying and overly emotional and like going off and whatever. So it's just weird. I think Summer is doing a lot. And I know she's explained to the camera and to the audience what's going on, but it's like, to people who don't know what's going on, you look cray cray, girl. Like, why would any of those people want to be around you? You coming so hard. Like, it's just not, it don't really make sense. You know what I mean? Um, so the next morning, Nick wakes up and he's gonna go run a 5K. And he feels like the house is in disarray, but he's throwing his event, Lux on the Bluff, that night. So he's like, oh, we need to meet as a house to get this place together. It cannot look a mess. Um, and Summer wakes up and she is like, I am tripping. Remember when I said she should have gone and laid down? That's all she needed to do, because if she had gone to lay down, she wouldn't have to wake up realizing like I effed up. She would have woken up like, "Ooh, so glad I came to lay down when I wasn't feeling it." That would have been her best bet. But no. But she's very apologetic, which I can appreciate. But it's like, how many days in a row are you going to go off on people before it's like, we can't keep taking the same apology? You know what I mean? Like, at some point, it's like, girl, apology not accepted, because you're doing the same thing. But if she learns, then it could be like, okay, we're good. So the next morning, the other girls are gisting about what happened, with Summer, trying to tell everybody pretty much what happened. Nick finishes his 5K. He finished fifth. And he talks about how that's big for him because his friend passed away, his line brother, who's his number five. And so he feels like it was like a symbolic finish, which I was surprised how emotional that statement was. I think Nick comes off as a very dry character. I'm not saying I don't like him, but he comes off as a very dry character. So to see that level of emotion from him was really, it was kind of nice to see. It was different. It was like, wow, Nick, you have way more sides to you than what we thought. Summer asks Noelle if she can speak to her, and Noelle agrees. And she's like, I feel like you're very sometimes you like me, sometimes you don't like me, and I don't know what's going on. And Summer's like, it's not you. I love you all the time. I'm sad and I'm sorry that that's how it's coming off and whatever and what have you. She says the anger is not towards her. She doesn't even remember putting hands on her. Oh, baby, no. See, because I'm a little more reckless than Noelle and all these other guys. I'd have beat Summer. Like, it would have been, girl, don't put your hands on me. Go to bed. See, that would have been. As soon as she started big woofing, I would have told her to go to bed, go lay down, because I don't want to fight my friend, obviously. So I'm just gonna tell you to go lay down. But you don't get to put your hands on me. Like I said, I know alcohol puts different, but just because you have drank doesn't mean I should allow you to put hands on me. No, because I'm going to let you know that next time you're not going to want to put hands on me, and you're not going to want to put hands on anybody. You're going to learn that you can't just put hands on people because you're drunk and angry. I think there needs to be a lesson. But she is apologetic, so I think that's really good. And Noelle is just such a fantastic friend. She is like, girl, I can tell you're hurting. I can tell that there's so much more going on, but you're not being open with us, and we don't know, and we can't help you. And she's like, I just feel like I have to kind of like pull back from you because I don't know what I'm going to get, because you've been, doing a lot. And she's like, but you don't have to feel like you have to have it all together. And see, that's why I like Noelle, because Noelle is like, girl, I can't be your friend like that. But I know something is going on, and I don't want you to think that you don't have that support. So I think it's really important that Noelle was able to kind of convey that in a way that Summer felt comfortable, I think. So I thought that was really dope. Noelle is number one right now on the cast. It was Preston. I still like him. He's still up there. But Noelle is really showing, she really showing it. She's coming in strong for that number one spot. Her and Preston are like right there. One and two, two and one, whatever. I like both of them. Um, then Nick calls a meeting and he's like, I want everybody to come talk. And Bria's like, what? I don't want to help. I don't want to do. When I threw my event, nobody helped me and blah, blah, blah. Even though the day we watched that episode, people were helping her. And they even went to the recap and showed that people were helping her. I think Bria's just a brat who don't want to do nothing for people. She thinks everyone should do for her and she should do for nobody, except for Simon, which that's her man. So I get that. But I don't think she wants to help other people because that's just not who she is. Hopefully, I'm not moving this thing so much and this mic is all over the place. Sorry, guys. I talk with my hands. I'm trying not to. But yeah, so she's upset. And so Nick was like, she's like, just tell me what you want to do. We don't have to have a meeting to do this and blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of the meeting. And he's like, okay, well, shoot. Like, can you clean the bathroom? She's like, fine, I'll do it. But she goes upstairs talking about she's not going to clean the restroom. And Shanice was like, well, let me help you. I think Shanice just wanted to get out of there because she didn't want to do anything either. Um, but anyways, they have their little meeting, Sans, Bria, Simon, and Shanice. And he's pretty much just doling out tasks to everybody. Like, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. And I'm like, low key, Nick, why have such a big event if you're gonna need so much help? Like, this is a lot, okay? You doing a lot. You doing a lot. But I feel I could tell from, I mean, day one, Nick is on more of like a perfectionist type of time. So he has to like have things in order to feel comfortable. Um, Tasia is on the island. She's made it, but she's not in the house. This time she's staying with her sister. Um, you know, I think that Tasia and Nick are a cute couple. And I think they are a couple. But I think there's something that we as viewers are missing. I don't know what it is, but there's something. Something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there is something that we're missing about that couple, about that relationship. I just don't know what it is. And if any of y'all know what it is or can tell me what I'm feeling about it or what it is that I see, like, because sometimes other people are a bit better able to articulate what you're thinking or feeling. And I can't. I just know there's something different, but I don't know what it is. Um, Anyways, Summer is basically like, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm going to go tonight and I'm going to be sober because she realized that her alcohol is having a huge, huge effect on how she's behaving. I love it. This is the accountability I was just talking about. If you can have accountability as your friend, I can forgive you. I can be there for you because you're realizing your fault and you are trying to better yourself and do better and fix it. So I do appreciate that from Summer. Like, go Summer, clap, 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 round of applause. Um, but Jordan calls her out. She's like, hey, I heard, I was talking to the other girls and they were saying that being friends, that you said being friends with us isn't so sweet. And she was like, I'm troubled. And it's like, girl, you was talking cash shit when you was drunk. And like, see, that's the problem. That's why Summer needed to go lay down because clearly she has a lot of issues. And I know they're personal. Maybe they're not with Jordan. Maybe they're not with Preston. Maybe they're not, whatever. But she has a lot of troubles and she hasn't quite yet figured how to work it out. And being on the vineyard and just drinking all the time is not helping her at all. But at least she says she's not going to drink, so hopefully that helps her. But Jordan does call out. She's like, you need to talk to Bria and like have that conversation and apologize and, basically do right by her. Um, and so she does go to Bria a little later and she's like, can we talk? And Bria's like, honestly, I'm not ready. And that's fine. I think you have to talk to people when you're ready in your time because, and I've had this conversation before and I believe this wholeheartedly. I sometimes will need to vent to someone else about a person to make sure that I'm not about to go say nothing crazy to that person. Like, make sure, hear me out, hear what I'm about to say, hear what I'm thinking of saying. Does this sound reasonable? Am I going to go to this person and sound crazy? Because I maybe want to preserve this friendship. And if I talk to this person right now while I'm mad, I might say things that I don't necessarily mean. But maybe if I come talk to someone else, run through kind of some of the things I'm thinking of saying and make sure I'm saying it in a way that would preserve the friendship that I want to have and then go from there. So Bria saying, hey, I'm not ready, even though she was kind of talking about Summer and the situation to others, I think that's okay. I think sometimes you have to like get it out, maybe not so nicely. So when you speak to the person that you actually have an issue with, the person that you're beefing or feuding with, you can be more kind and you can come to them with love and be like, hey, that pissed me off, but I'm no longer angry. I've talked it out. And now I want to talk to you so we can come to a resolution. And like I said, Bria wasn't ready. Um, Mariah asked to talk to Amir, and he's just so dismissive of it. He's like, what do we need to talk about? Ugh, ugh. And I'm just like, what a nasty spirit. I mean, he seems fun and loving and all that stuff, but I just think that Amir doesn't like Black women. And let me say this because you're like, well, all these other women are Black, but not really, right? All of them look more mixed, except for probably Jasmine and Bria, but then they're very petite, right? Whereas Mariah is like Amazonian. Like she is gorgeous, but she is like 5'11", or at least she looks that way in comparison to Amir. And she do not shy away from the heels. So she be looking like a tall snack. And Amir, I think he's intimidated by that. And Mariah is very Black. She is black, blackety black, 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 you know? And I think that's a little intimidating to Amir. I feel like it is. I don't know. He hasn't said it, but it comes off that way just by how he treats her and responds to her and like what he did last season. I know everybody's like, oh, it shouldn't be a big deal, but it's like Mariah, yes, he is 100% correct in that Mariah had the ability to react however she was, But come to find out, what they obviously cut out, which we did not know, and we saw in that conversation between her and Bria, is she's allergic to dogs. Putting something with dog hair into her laundry, yeah, that's going to piss someone off who's allergic to dogs. Plain and simple. And that's kind of, it almost feels like they were gunning to get Mariah out from the beginning, maybe because she's allergic to dogs and it was going to be an overall issue, but I don't know. I just feel like Amir was really dismissive, and that behavior is disgusting to me. You should never be dismissive of someone's feelings because I feel like throughout this show, people have not been dismissive of his or anyone else's, really. Everyone gets a chance to be heard. Even Bria, when she's screaming and bringing a brat, people still give her that opportunity. But Mariah, all of a sudden, it's like, ugh, I don't want to talk. Ugh, I don't owe her an apology. Ugh. And I just feel like that's really disgusting. Um, but yeah, so then Nick's Lux on the Blocks event, it's happening, it started, and it actually has a lot of people there. This is probably one of the first events that looks like it's well attended. A lot of people were able to get their friends in. Um, Shanice feels like the party is really bougie and not fun. Shanice is that girl. She's a party girl. And if your party has a little too much class to it, it's not for Shanice. I'm not saying Shanice can't be classy, but I'm saying that if you're not playing music for her to turn up and drink and have a good time, it she don't want to be there. She don't want to be there. Like, it's just not her scene. Preston finally also calls out Summer for what he heard about what she said about them. Like, being friends with them is not all it's cracked up to be or whatever. And again, she's apologetic. And she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just feel like our friendship has been really heavy recently. And I just, wish it was more fun and light and this and that. And he was like, I'm going to laugh with you, but I'm also going to cry with you. Like, I'm here for you. We'll talk, we'll get mad, but we're still going to be friends. And I appreciate Preston for, talking that out with her. And then Jordan and Preston kind of talk in a little confessional about how, like, they thought they was a tripod, but apparently Summer is like on her own. Um, I just want Summer to really work through these issues that she has, whether it's therapy or just being able to open up to her friends or finding ways to do that. Because honestly, it is so unhealthy what she's doing right now, just lashing out at people because she doesn't know how to cope. It's kind of sad. It's hard to watch. At the party, one of Noelle's friends come and she walks by Amir and he's like, whoa, is that Jordan? And the girl, I don't think she looks like Jordan, but Natalie all of a sudden is like jealous because he was looking at a girl who looked like Jordan, because it wasn't even Jordan. He just looked like her, even though she didn't really look like her. He was like, well, I don't know. Jordan has like 6 different wigs. I don't like how he said that. Because I understand that Amir is partially black, he is mixed. But the fact that he has a white mama, Amir be saying stuff and my eyebrow gets raised. Like, what did you mean by that? What did you mean by that? What did you mean by that? And it doesn't help that his girlfriend is already kind of like, that's not my vibe. I don't like Amir's girlfriend, and she don't ever need to come back to the vineyard. I don't ever. Someone said it online. They said black spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends only. And you know what? They not so wrong. They not so wrong. Because Simon, everybody likes Simon because he's friendly, but I think Simon is an attention seeker. So I don't really care for him. Like, I like him. I have no problem with him. But I I feel like he likes the attention. Because he be saying some crazy stuff. Like telling Preston he looked like Millie Vanilli, that was how. What about Millie Vanilli made Preston look like them? Like, I feel like he just be saying stuff, and that bothers me. But he's not the worst. I think Natalie is very like, I'm so above these low class people, and it's like, girl, don't come. Do not come. You should have stayed home and take your man with you. Stay at home together. That would be nice, that would be nice if the two of you just stayed home together. Yeah. Then Nick makes a little speech talking about his LB that passed. Um, it was, again, very emotional. Uh, and then they like kind of, the party kind of gets started, and the Greeks come out and they start strolling. Again, like I said earlier, this is what makes this show, the little black history lessons. He goes through the Divine Nine, he goes through the a little bit of the history of strolling, he goes through all of this stuff that's important to black culture. Like, I'm just gonna say it. When y'all see all these other multicultural orgs and stuff strolling, they don't have no history. They strolling because they seen black people do it. And so when you see something like this and you're seeing the originators of these things, it's real dope. You get that lesson. You get to learn something new. It's nice. So I really loved it. I love this. I loved this episode. At least the end of it, especially where they got to do that little lesson in Greekdom. It looked like they had a lot of the Divine Nine. Noelle's AKA. Nick and Alex are Kappas. Another one of their LBs was there. Noelle had one of her sorors there. There at the picture I saw, it looked like there was a Delta there. So it looked like they had, a couple of little Greeks there, and it was nice. Um, but then Simon decides he wants to go and put on a little blow up flamingo suit. What that has to do with the party, what that has to do with anything, I don't know, but that's who Simon is. I told you he's a little bit of an attention seeker. And maybe because the focus was too black, the focus was on Greek, he felt like he needed to go do something. He went and put this little flamingo on. And he did it. And that pissed Bria the hell off. She started going off like, I told you, what are you doing? This and that, whoop de whoop. She going off on him. I mean, Nick doesn't like it either, but Tasia's like, calm down. It's supposed to be funny. I'm like, oh, look at Tasia calming down the situation. She seems really sweet. I think she's beautiful. She seems really sweet. I, like I said, something just don't seem right. Um, but yeah, I'm like, why would Simon do that? But it's like, Bria, you know your man. This is who your man is, unless he only does this when the cameras is rolling. Because why are you so shocked? I feel like he did this last season when he went and jumped into the pool with all his clothes on, and he be doing a lot, it seems. So why are you shocked? But she going off. She's like, we're breaking up. I don't want you to do that. I can't stand that. She made him take it off. He is like, what? Because he's drunk. It is just a thing. But then in that argument, Simon, I guess, farts in like the hallway, and everybody is like, did something die? I don't know why that's so funny to me. Because everybody's looking like, what the hell is that? But it's just a mess. I mean, Bria getting mad, I feel like, and I'm not here to side with Simon. I'm really not. But it's like, I think you should know who your man is. Like, you really can't be shocked when your man behaves how he's always behaved. He's always doing something silly. So I just don't understand why she was so mad. But that was pretty much how the episode ended, with Bria getting really upset at Simon and saying like she wants to end things. But obviously, she said it's like a culmination of so many other things and so many other problems that they've had. But I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to know what you guys think. What did you guys think about these past two episodes? Do you think that the show is trending in the right direction? What changes? Like I told you what I think needs to happen. What changes do you think needs to be made to get the viewership up? Maybe more attractive single guys. The girls are okay. I think the girls are pretty. They're doing the needful. I think Jasmine can stay despite married because she's actually pretty good. But I do think the cast needs a definite shakeup. 100%. 1000%. They need a shakeup. I don't know what they're going to do, but they have got to shake that cast up and figure something out. Because right now, it ain't working. It's not working. Like they get along, I think, overall. Shanice stays, Noelle stays, Summer stays, Jasmine stays. Maybe replace Bria and Jordan. Maybe keep Bria. Maybe. Maybe keep Jordan. But Jordan has to learn to be cool sometimes. I don't know. The men all have to be replaced except for Preston. Every single man has to go. Alex is not fun enough. I'm sorry. You need a guy who's fun. And Alex is not that guy. Because he is the single guy, but he's not fun. So he got to go. They got to bring in 5 new men that are fun. And that's my thoughts. But let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.